Hello everyone, good evening. It's me, Luqman Hayyan here from 4 Diamond. I'm in SMK Sultan Ismail, and today I'll be doing my chemistry project. Okay, so the method that I chose is pickling method. Alright? Alright, so what do I need for pickling? Well, first I need a glass jar, alright, to put our solution and our food, alright, and then we need salt, alright, and then we need sugar, we need vinegar, and lastly, this one is up to you. You can choose any type of fruit vegetables that you like. So I chose cucumber, alright, and I managed to cut it into smaller pieces, alright. It's up to you. You don't really have to cut it, but I want to cut it so that it can fit inside this jar right here. The first thing that we need to do is to get a pot and fill it with water. Let's get back to it. Okay, so we're back. I'm at the kitchen right now, so what we need to do first, like I said before, we need to fill this pot with water. First thing we need to do is we need to fill this with some vinegar. Alright, here I have my vinegar, and I'm gonna pour some. The smell is really pungent. Alright, fill some. Okay, I think we're done. Okay, after we get our vinegar, or pour our vinegar, we throw in some salt. Maybe about, maybe 10 drops. Okay, once we pour our salt, we pour in our sugar. Alright, I need 2 hands for this one. I'm gonna take out my sugar. Alright. Alright, so we're gonna pour in some sugar. And don't pour too much, maybe just a little bit. I would recommend maybe about 5 tablespoons. No, I think 3 tablespoons. Okay, the next step that we have to do is to boil the water until it actually starts to boil, like it starts to show those bubbles and everything. Alright, so we're gonna turn on the stove. Alright, while the solution is getting boiled, we will have to stir so that the solution is able to mix properly. So in this solution we have vinegar, salt, and sugar, like I poured previously. Alright, so we just keep stirring until we feel satisfied. Sorry for the drip there. I can feel my hand, it's getting really hot. Okay, so I think I've already completely stirred this. Alright, so I'm gonna wait until this thing starts to get really hot, or should I say it gets boiled down. Alright, so I'll be back. Okay, so we're back. The water is boiling, so we're gonna turn the stove off. Okay, what we're gonna do now, okay, as it's boiling down, we're gonna take our glass jar that I mentioned earlier, and we're gonna pour the liquid inside this. Alright, so let me just safety first. The handle is really hot since there's no insulator. Okay, wait. Alright, so we're gonna take this and we're gonna pour it inside this glass jar. Alright, so as you can see here, there's steam there. Alright, so we're gonna put as much cucumber slices as we can inside this glass jar. All right. Okay, you don't have to put everything. As long as it fits, then I think it's okay. All right. So let me just get a spoon to push this down. Okay. So now that we're done, ouch, that hurts. All right. So now that we're done, we're gonna let this thing cool off for a moment. We're not gonna put the lid on yet. All right. So I will be back in about what, 30 minutes. Okay, it's been 30 minutes. So now we're gonna take the lid, close this off. It's already cooled down. Okay, so the lid has been sealed on. Alright, so what we're gonna do next is we're gonna put this in the fridge, and we will see you in the next few days. And also I would like to highlight that before this, the cucumbers were pure green. This color, it was dark green. All right, so then after like about what, 30 to 40 minutes like that, it has already turned yellowish green. So yeah, which is actually very impressive. And I'll see you all in a few days time. Okay, so it's been about what, 2 days maybe, and here are the final results. As you can see here, yeah, like I said before, it went from what, dark green, the original color of the cucumber, into very yellowish green. Impressive. Okay, so first question: how does food preservation work? How does this work? So as you guys have seen, I pour salt, sugar, and vinegar into the solution, which already creates acidic plus base solution. All right, so that solution is actually hypertonic. All right, so what is hypertonic? Hypertonic solution is when the solution has a higher concentration of solute compared to water potential energy. Like, it has low water potential, but it has a very high concentration due to the amount of salt, sugar, and what else, and vinegar that we have pour inside this water. Okay, so you see, since this solution is hypertonic, the water potential in the cucumber, diffuses out of the water cucumber into the solution, because down the gradient, because if I'm not mistaken, the solution has a lower water potential, so it needs to somewhat balance. So the water potential in the cucumber sap diffuses out of the cucumber into the solution. It finally stops diffusing after the water potential in the cucumber and also the solution reaches equilibrium, basically the same amount. Okay, so this causes the cucumber, you know, since it loses a lot of water potential energy, it becomes somewhat dry. Okay, it becomes somewhat dry, and plus with the acidic solution, it prevents some bacteria to grow in the cucumber or maintain in it, which is why it is very good for preservation, as it doesn't allow any bacteria or mold to grow in it. Oh, and also I forgot to mention the process, what it's called, the diffusion, is called osmosis. Alright, so it's slightly different from diffusion, simple diffusion, but osmosis is basically when water potential energy diffuses in or out. Alright, second question: how does acid preserve the food? Okay, so the acid that we used here, as you seen before, it's vinegar. All right, so if I'm not mistaken, vinegar has the pH value of 2.5. Okay, so how does it preserve? Well, you see, since the pH value is very low, which means it's very acidic, the acid prevents the bacteria from this cucumber to be maintained in it or to grow within it, because it's not suitable. All right, it's not suitable. Another thing to point out is that vinegar, or should I say an acidic solution, actually improves the ripeness of the fruit or food, whatever you're using. In my case, I'm using a cucumber. So the vinegar, or should I say the acidic solution, actually improves the ripeness of this fruit. Alright? So since it improves the ripeness and prevents bacteria growth in this cucumber, which means that the preservation of this food actually lasts longer compared to normal fruits. The only downside I could say is that the cucumber will taste very, very sour due to the strong acidic solution, you know? Okay, I think that wraps up about everything I have to say. Thank you for watching my video. I just want to point out that this method is actually very useful in daily life situations in case of, you know, you want to store food longer than usual or something. So yeah, I do recommend this method to you all. That's about it, and I'll see you guys next time.